was sorry to be leaving, but I was restless again.
Beware! The day grows dark, and demons stalk the gap by night.
Harsh, old woman, stop your superstitious nonsense. Besides, this is the best time of day for fishing, eh, Milo?
Yes, Dad. Look, Foster! I use these broken sensors to make a fish alarm. It detects the fish before it bites.
Nice work, Milo.
Milo was just like me as a boy, and the tech skills I'd taught him would help the village after I left.
Do you really have to go, Foster? How can we ever pay you back for all you've done?
It's been my pleasure, Max. One of Anita's pies will be payment enough.
I owed the Gap folks so much. My first tribe fostered me when I was orphaned all those years ago. They taught me how to recycle tech scavenged from city dumps. Soon, I even built myself a playmate.
I'm your friend. Call me Joey.
Joey and I were always together. As I grew, I upgraded him. He became the best friend I ever had. But then...
Foster! Foster, wake up! The sensors detect a fish. It's a big one.
What the?
It was no fish.
Max, keep back! Milo!
Dad! What are they?
Max! Drop him, you...
Dad! Foster! Help me! Help me!
Milo had gone. The machine, too. But its riders had left something behind.
Max? Milo? What's happened, Foster? Where's my son? Max? Max? Oh, no! I told them there were demons stalking the dark.
The stalker that attacked us was a machine, not a demon.
Please, Foster, I don't understand. What happened?
I told Anita everything I could, though I knew very little. Max was barely conscious. I could only hope that with Anita's loving care, he would recover. As for me, I had to follow Milo and his captors immediately.
I'll bring Milo home, Anita. I promise.
Thank you, Foster. I know you will.
Dawn was breaking as I left the village. The featureless wastes of the Gap stretched away from me. Night followed day, then day dawned once more. Time lost meaning as the tracks beckoned me ever forward. Determination had long replaced sadness. Whatever it took, I would find Milo. The tracks were barely visible now, blurred by the wind. But I was sure I'd reach their destination soon. Then I saw the thing I feared the most approaching. Sandstorm. I battled forward, but now could only guess that my direction was correct. I decided to save my energy and sank into an exhausted sleep. Maybe the old woman was right. Maybe demons did stalk the Gap. For as it shrieked and thundered around me, the storm brought back my nightmare once more. Union City security was attacking. As my tribe screamed in terror, I salvaged Joey's motherboard. Taken captive, I couldn't save my village. But I survived when the security copter crashed, entering Union City. On the run, I soon got Joey working. Upgraded yet again, he helped me overthrow the evil that ran the city. As I left, I told him to make the citizens happy, Union City was no place for me. I wanted to be where I could do most good, helping the scattered people of the Gap. I woke to find the storm had passed. But not without finishing its cruel work. The tracks were gone. I was lost, and so, I feared, was Milo. Then, I heard them. Gang birds, scavengers, and in this wasteland, that meant only one thing: people. Despair turned to hope. I was sure that if I could find where the stalker had gone, I would find Milo. Then, in the distance, I saw a girl crouching over a body.
Welcome to this commentary feature. My name is Charles Cecil and I am the game director. Please interact with the comic book pages that you'll find throughout the game to hear members of our team talk about the approach to design, art, audio, and general. Obviously, these commentaries contain spoilers, so I recommend that you only enable this feature once you've completed the game and are playing through again and want to get an insight.
Just as we had with the original game, we wanted to have a comic book introduction to Beyond a Steel Sky. And we were able to actually work in a slightly different way because the way the characters appeared in the game had been designed to look like a comic book. So it was a question of retrofitting the comic book to the way things appeared in the game, rather than with the original, where we only had blocky sprites and really quite crudely drawn backgrounds, and we did a much enhanced version for the comic book. Here we were working on at a very high level anyway. And we also knew that there had been advances in comic books in the time since we did the first game. A company called Madefire had perfected a range of motion comics and motion books. And I had many friends there, and we decided that we would do an animated version of a comic book to introduce the game, and a print version as well, so that you got some sort of solid object to keep as well. And we were also able to include speech in the motion comic version of it. And I was greatly helped, as I have been throughout these two games, by a friend of mine called Angus Mackay, who's a wonderful artist, cover designer, colorist, and he worked with my rough drafts and outline drawings for the comic book and added color and atmosphere to it, and you know, really enhanced it as he always has done. And he was also included in the jolly that we had a few years ago for the first game, where we went to Castle Howard and had a wonderful meal, and it was really great to get the team together. And I'm hoping that when circumstances permit, we'll all be able to get together and celebrate this game.
I wondered what. He'd clearly been dead for days. The logo. I'd seen it before. On the androids that had taken Milo. The girl was my only lead. I had to follow her. Union City. I was back. Over the years, I'd heard rumors of how the city had thrived since I'd left Joey in charge. I was finally going to see for myself.
Halt!
Welcome, unregistered Gaplander.
Well, hi. And you are?
Community Welfare Droid 2CU at your service. To commence your Union City registration, please make your way to the immigration terminal.
That's okay, I'm not here to register. I'm looking for...
If you're looking for the immigration terminal, it's right over there. Thank you.
Can you help me find a missing kid?
You want to file a missing persons report? Go register.
I'm looking for a vehicle that maybe came this way.
A vehicle? Well, this is a freight entrance. So, you're in the right place.
Right. I need to find a boy called Milo. He was...
What you need to find is the immigration terminal. It's right over there.
I've never seen a droid like you.
And I've never seen a Gaplander like you.
I bet. And what is it you do?
I tell Gaplanders like you to visit the immigration terminal and register.
Let me know how that goes. Have you seen a boy called
No, but I do see an unregistered Gaplander.
Can you tell me?
Read my lips. Immigration term.
So how do I
Easy. Just go to the immigration terminal and you'll get a U-chip for your temporary ID. The correct route is indicated by the...
Sounds easy.
It is. Without it, you won't be able to interact with...
What exactly is a U-chip?
Don't they teach you Gaplanders anything? A U-chip stores your ID and personal data in a micro-implant. The immigration terminal is easy to find. What's keeping you? The correct route is indicated by these signs.
What's this Minos you mentioned?
Minos is the interconnected computer system that is everywhere and controls everything.
Everything? That sounds very similar to Link.
For the convenience of all citizens. And word to the wise, no U-chip, no access to the Minos devices. Not even the vending machines. So go register.
Remind me how to register with Union City?
The immigration terminal is back...
Thanks. How do I get to immigration?
The terminal is at the wall end of the garden. The correct route. Soon as you've registered, you can access the Minos devices.
Thanks for your time.
Pleasure. How can I help?
Excuse me.
Got a problem?
Thanks for your time.
Enjoyed every minute of it. How can I help?
When the animation team worked on 2CU, initially the character was more functional. Their eye as a camera lens, for example.
How can I be of assistance?
Since we decided to use Unreal Engine for the game in 2016, it was immediately clear that we needed to develop our own.
Writing and designing a puzzle around children was always going to be interesting, especially ones with such extensive dialogue trees as Pixel and Voxel. Kevin, our writer, had the particular challenge of writing jokes and quips that came from the mind of a child but made comedic sense to an adult. Beyond the writing, the voice acting work is also extremely crucial in delivering that sentiment. Rosie, who did an amazing job of playing a number of characters in the game, had the challenge of playing both Pixel and Voxel. What I found particularly impressive about all of this was when we were directing these lines in the studio, Rosie would seemingly respond and contribute to feedback as an 8-year-old child, without the temper tantrums, of course.
I recognized the girl. She was the one who'd run away from me earlier. Nothing happened. Probably because the machine had had its innards ripped out. Whatever it was trying to detect, I didn't have one.
Please obtain one at the immigration terminal.
One of the posts was jammed.
working. Hey, we fixed it.
Yeah, piece of cake.
Dude, council sure is shining in my direction today. Do you know how many times I've scanned this thing? The last scan must have done the trick. You see, I'm the diagnostician and tech expert around here. Name's Hobsworth. What can I do for you?
Tell me about Joey.
Praise Joey. Not a day goes by where I don't thank him for the happiness and prosperity he brought to Union City.
Joey and I go way back. We must be talking about the same one.
Well, it depends. Our Joey was kind, benevolent, generous, firm, resolute, moral, he's magnanimous, proactive, and a friend to all citizens alike. Does that sound like your Joey?
My Joey was more of a sarcastic pain in the... But he was my best friend. So what's your deal, Hobsworth?
I am a diagnostician for the Ministry of Comfort.
And what exactly does a diagnostician do?
I find problems.
And fix them?
No, I just diagnose them. Minos fixes them.
See you around, Hobsworth.
Oh, before I forget, I really appreciate your patience back there when I was fixing the bridge. Let me thank you properly. Give me your hand.
Okay.
Oh, I forgot. You're from the Gap.
What's wrong with that?
Well, you don't have a U-chip, so I can't give you any kudos.
Well, your heart...
Keep a smile on your face.
Sir, excuse me, sir. Are you...
Whatever you're selling, I ain't buying.
No, I'm not selling any...
A likely story. Name's Wendell. Joe Wendell.
Nice to meet you.
That remains to be seen.
Listen, you haven't seen a child come through here, have you?
Pinch something of yours?
No, he was kidnapped from a nearby village.
Oh, I see. Sorry to hear that. You're not the first I've heard talking about kids going missing in the Gap. But I've never seen any come through here. Have you asked those kids over by the playground? They've been here a lot longer than me.
I'm looking for a vehicle.
Well, mate, today's your lucky day. This is a vehicle.
No, I'm looking for a special vehicle.
But Brucey is special. All he needs is his power cell and we'll be on our way.
The vehicle I'm looking for had 4 legs and no wheels.
A vehicle with legs? Think you've got bats in your belfry, mate.
Your truck's power cell has drained.
Aye, emptier than a politician's vows. There was a sandstorm put the bridge over yonder out of action. I was told to go park for a few hours. Turned into a few days. Trying to keep the mini case cool in this heat emptied the power cell. I wasn't stingy on the aircon, mind, or the margarita blender up in the cab. A working man needs his creature comforts. Anyway, 13.7 volts drained to naught. And they still haven't fixed that blooming bridge.
And you've been sat here ever since?
No choice, until they send someone out to juice up Brucey's power cell. Someone competent, I mean.
Have you spoken to Hobsworth?
Didn't I say someone competent? That muffin doesn't know a panhard rod from a Chapman strut.
So, your truck is full of... mini knockwurst?
You betcha! Mini K, best in the Gap. Even contains some real meat. You're welcome to take a handful. Back of the truck's open, although... the doors like to play silly beggars.
Oh?
Requires a special technique. Ritual, you could call it.
Ritual?
Ah. Step 1, give the bumper a wallop. Step 2, do a little jig. Step 3, pull the door and jerk it hard.
Wallop, jig, pull. That it?
That's it, lad. And remember the order.
Be seeing you.
Aye.
There was a strange smell, and it was Those birds weren't going to let me anywhere near the back of the truck. The gangs clearly weren't scared of me, or my crowbar. I didn't rate my chances against all of those razor-sharp beaks. Those birds weren't going to let me anywhere near the back of the truck.
How can I be of assistance?
Excuse me,
Got a problem?
why are you following me?
You're an unregistered Gaplander. You don't have a U-chip, which means I need to monitor you. Personally.
And how do I get a U-chip?
By registering at the immigration terminal. Simple, huh?
I'll get round to it. I'll be going now.
Pleasure. How can I be of assistance?
It was a tire or modern art. I couldn't tell which.
Two of my favourite characters in the game are Pixel and Voxel. And once upon a time, there were actually 7 Gap kids who all lived near Union City beside a dump. And as the section progressed and we got
A makeshift workbench had been set up. Its structural integrity seemed over-reliant on some old deflated tires.
To bring our dialogue to life, we have voice performance, camera angle, body animation, lip sync animation, and facial expression. Each of these are assets applied to an individual line of the script. The first encounter you have with Ember was the first dialogue we got fully working in the game, the first one we saw fully brought to life with all these layered elements. We wanted to use an algorithmically generated lip sync technology.
How can I help?
We'd initially planned that there would be another section through the waterfall, until we realised that there was already about an hour's gameplay, and that players might get frustrated if they were held back any longer from getting into the city, which is the obvious objective. So whilst the waterfall stayed, if your sense is that it is slightly incongruous, then you're absolutely right. We'd initially planned that there would be another section through the waterfall, until we realised that there was already about an hour's gameplay, and that players might get frustrated if they were held back any longer from getting into the city, which is the obvious objective.
I guess this was the immigration terminal. By the sound of things, Hobbsworth was hard at work. I decided not to interrupt him. Excuse me.
Well, hey there, stranger. How's your day going so far?
Well,
Great, I'll bet. Anything old Hobbsworth can do for you? By the way, just so you know, I'm on the clock.
Yes, of course, no problem. What are these kudos you've mentioned?
They reward people for doing what's right. Good for themselves, it's good for the city. Reward us for fulfilling our potential as proud Union City citizens. And under the benevolent gaze of the council, we are all happy. No one is ever sad. I figure your contribution to fixing that bollard earns you one. If you got a U-chip.
Not yet.
Ah, well, come back when you do. You can get a temp one from the immigration terminal in the garden. It's next to my office.